been pouring down rain all day, and thunder and lightning. And don't judge my dirty kitchen, because I'm not going to film on the floor today, because it's dirty and I have to mop. The struggle's real, guys. Adulting is hard sometimes. Well, hey there, reader friends. I'm Erica, and welcome back to my channel. For the first time in a long time. Once again, I went on hiatus. I just do that. I just disappear for months, and then I come back. And the reason I'm back is because there is this new tag that's been going around, and I've been watching a lot of my friends on BookTube and people that I like to watch doing it, and then I thought, well, you know what? I want to do it too, so I'm going to do it today. So today, if you read the title, today is the day, it's Tag Tuesday, that I'm going to do the BookTube Real Talk tag. I don't know if I'm very qualified for this, since I don't post regularly and I'm a very small channel, but I have lots of thoughts about BookTube, and I have been doing this now for almost 3 years. Really? Is it 3 years? Wait, yeah, because I bought this computer. No, that's a lie. 2 years. Math is not my strong suit. My degree is in English, guys. My degree is in the books. The BookTube Real Talk tag, and again, there goes my light. It was going to happen, so we're going to be purple today. It's just going with my aesthetic of purpleness. The BookTube Real Talk tag was created by Alyssa, and I watched her video and I really liked it, and I also really liked her channel, so you should go check her out. I'll leave a link down below. But the person that really kind of inspired me to make my own video about this is Michaela, because she had such amazing in-depth thoughts about things, and I remember way back in the day when she started her channel, and now she's just, boom goes the thunder. And now she's just grown so much, and it's really been fun for me to watch her grow and see how her channel has changed, and I really liked what she said, but I also have my own thoughts, so here we go. Here are my thoughts. Number one, what's something nobody told you about BookTube before starting your channel? I don't know. I watched BookTube a lot before I actually started my channel. I had probably been watching for a couple of years. But one thing nobody told me was how challenging it can be to post regularly. I thought it would be easy and no big deal. But between finding time to film and dealing with my limited means for filming, I don't have a separate studio. I don't have special lighting. I have all the lack of things, I guess. I just film on my computer. I don't have a separate camera. And then when it comes to the time for editing, and in addition, I work full time, never really anticipated how much of a time commitment it would be to do BookTube. Plus, when you think about it, Allie at Hardback Hoarder said this, and I thought it was really intuitive and wise, because she was like, this is one of the few areas of BookTube where the time commitment outside of actually making your videos and editing your videos is very high, because we have to read a lot of books, and I read very slowly. So I think that in general, I just wasn't anticipating how much time it would take and the pressure I would feel when it comes to how much time it would take to make videos and to read and to stay up to date on everything. It kind of stresses me out, and I was not anticipating that at all. Number two, what is your opinion on typical BookTube videos like TBRs, wrap-ups, hauls, unhauls, those things? Well, if you've been here, you know my thoughts. I have nothing against them, but I hate making them, and I don't make them. Occasionally I'll do a TBR of my books I'm looking forward to for the summer, or if there's a lot of, romance books that I'm looking forward to or whatever. I won't never, ever, ever do a TBR or a wrap-up or what have you. But in terms of doing one every month, when I rarely get to the books that I put on my TBR, and then I don't read that fast, so it's very unusual for me to read more than 3 books a month, 4 books a month. This past couple of months, I have barely even made 2 books a month. I've just been not reading as much. So that whole aspect of BookTube doesn't appeal to me. It also doesn't appeal to me because it's kind of consumeristic in its tone. It feels to me, and one of the main challenges I have with BookTube is that a lot of it seems geared around quantity and how much you read and how much you do versus quality. And I get to a certain extent that's just the way YouTube is, and that's just the way our culture is. But I don't have a lot of money to spend on books. I check out a lot of things from the library, and I read very slowly. So that format didn't work for me, and that was one of the major hiccups I had in terms of my channel, because I felt like I needed to do those things because that's what booktubers do, but they're not what actually reflects my reading and how I read and how I like to interact with books. So at the beginning of this year, I just decided not to do them, and that was a really liberating choice. But then I stopped making videos. So I don't know. I guess the long answer is I don't know how I feel about them. I don't really watch them that much either, to be honest. I don't watch that many TBRs and wrap-ups unless it's topical, unless it's like TBR for fantasy for 2019. Like, yeah, I want to see what fantasy books you're excited about reading this year. Or if it's like a wrap-up for a readathon, I'll check those out because I think they're really interesting. So I guess my answer is I am not a big fan, and I'm not very interested about the typical BookTube like videos. But if you like them, that's fine. And they provide a good format when you're getting started. Number 3. 3? 3. I'm a children's librarian. I count all the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is an assumption you had about BookTube before you joined? Was it proven to be correct or incorrect? What was an assumption I had? I guess I kind of assumed that I would have to put up with like negativity in my comments and that people would be real judgmental of my opinions. And I kind of started my BookTube channel expecting that and expecting that I would have to have kind of a thick skin, that people would challenge what I had to say. And thankfully, that has not been the case. That was a big flash of thunder right now, or flash of lightning. Thunder doesn't flash, lightning flashes, Erica. Holy cow, get with the program. But yeah, I'm like really thankful actually that assumption turned out, pause for thunder. I'm really thankful that assumption actually turned out to be completely false and not true at all. I haven't had any real hate at any of my videos. I do think part of that is just because I'm such a small channel and people aren't interested in me. I am sure if I got larger, I would have hate and kind of intolerance appear. But so far, everyone has been immensely supportive in the comments. And one surprising thing for me is also like immensely supportive in spite of the fact that I disappear for months at a time. I still post things, and like people that have been commenting on my videos from the beginning comment and they're like, we're glad you're back. I don't know if that's going to happen this time, but like every time I've gone on hiatus in the past, they've always like, you guys have always been there. And that was a really nice surprise. So I guess in that way, BookTube kind of defied my expectations. I had always heard that this was such a supportive community and that people were so friendly and like engaging and really interested in your thoughts. But I was kind of like, yeah, sure, everyone says that. But then like you start and like the real truth comes out. But that's actually what happened, and I'm pretty happy about that. Number 4, what is something you've done that has actually helped grow your audience? So I kind of take issue with this question. I'm not in any way trying to be disrespectful at all, because I do think it's a valid question, especially for people that really want to grow their channel. But I'm not really interested in growing my channel. I don't even know how many subscribers I have right now. I think it's like in the 160s, 170s. It very well could be lower or higher. I don't really keep track. I just started doing this because I like talking about books, and I was looking for people to connect with that like to read the kinds of books that I do. And I saw, you know, Julie at Pages with Pens and Allie at Hardback Hoarder doing videos talking about books that I was interested in. Also saw Reagan and Jesse, you know, the bigger booktubers, and thought, oh, it's really cool how they're using this format to talk about books, and I would love to do that. I think that would be a lot of fun. And so I started my channel. And I really owe a lot of thanks to Julie because like, and Chelsea too, because I was like, I kind of want to start a channel and I'm kind of nervous. And they were both like, yeah, just do it. It's a lot of fun. It's real easy. Just do it. Just do it. Again, that kind of blanket supportive nature of BookTube really came through for me. So then I started my channel, and it's not grown very much since I started it. Would it be nice to have more subscribers? I mean, I guess, but that's not really why I started my channel. I started because I wanted to talk to people about books, and I wanted to provide my own thoughts about books, and I wanted to be part of this community. And while subscribers are a part of that, I find it much more engaging and fulfilling to have people comment and respond to their comments, and to have found such amazing friends and channels to watch. You know, I'm not part of any of the quote unquote cliques on BookTube, but I do feel like we're friends. Like we chat on we comment on each other's videos, and I watch a lot of videos I don't even comment on, but I feel like it is still a sense of community, but I also feel like that's because I do it in a way that fosters community. I'm not invested in growing, and so I just do what I want. And if people don't like it, if they're looking for something that's more mainstream, then there are plenty of other channels where they can get that. But I don't have the time, the money, or the desire to like invest in ways that are the way you grow your channel. Like, I am not gonna, at this point, buy a bunch of professional lighting or a fancy camera or anything like that because I don't have the money. My money has to go elsewhere. But also, like, I'm just not that invested in growing my channel. I like where it is. I like the way it is. And if it grows, that's great. That's fine. But, like, that's not really the way I think about what I want when I think about my channel. I don't know why the light just changed, but it did. That's the joy of using iMovie on your computer, I guess. But to be fair, to answer the question, my channel experienced a lot of growth when I started co-hosting Fairy Tale-a-thon last summer 2018. I saw a lot of growth once I engaged in that. I also tend to see growth when I do engage in readathons in general. I think that they're a great way to connect with people because you'll find readers that have similar reading tastes to your own, and so then they'll be more interested in your channel. Right now there's so much on BookTube and there are so many channels and it's almost kind of overwhelming. So readathons are kind of a nice way to find other channels that like the same types of books you do and that want to just read them all the time, and I find it a really also nice way to connect with other viewers and readers and say, hey, by the way, I have a channel. Want to check it out? Like, subscribe? I still kind of feel weird saying that. 5, what is a common mistake you see new booktubers making or one that you made? I guess it depends on your goal for your channel. If you want to, have a lot of success via your subscriber count, like if that's how you're determining success, there are lots of things you could do. I don't do them because that's not where my goals lie. I guess one mistake I would encourage you to avoid is trying to do everything, particularly if you are working and have family and you have other demands on your time. I see a definite divide in the way BookTube's done between the people that are younger and in school and don't have the responsibilities of adulthood and those of us that do. So I think consider how much time you can devote to this before you join, because if you're really wanting to grow very fast and very quickly, you need to have a plan in place because it is a commitment. I guess the biggest mistake, which Michaela talked about, and I'll link her channel down below, is when people start channels and they try to copy a well-known big booktubers style and way of speaking and the way they act, and it comes off as kind of forced and inauthentic. Now, I think some of that is just figuring out your comfort with your camera and also your own way you want to be, because I'm not always like this. I'm not always like this, but I think that you have to figure out who you are as a booktuber and how you want to present on camera, and just copying those that have success isn't necessarily the best way to go. Maybe take bits and pieces, look at what they do that you like and see if you can make that work for you. But if you just go in and carbon copy and put on a forced personality that's not really yours and you're kind of putting a character, like you're a BookTube character, then it doesn't come off very well. And yeah, you'll probably struggle a bit. I guess the other big mistake I see a lot of times, and it's not even with new booktubers, but I think it's just BookTube in general, is that sometimes it feels like it gets away from talking about books and it gets more to talking about the community and drama within the community. And that's not exactly where my interests lie, and I don't think it's necessarily what I would like BookTube to be. So tread carefully, friends, because there is drama that happens here. And you could slip into it if you're not careful, particularly when you're new, because I think that engaging in those kinds of drama controversies on book Twitter and what have you is a great way to get eyes on your channel and on your BookTube persona. But if that's why people are engaging in your channel, is it really about books? So yeah, it's something I have a lot of feelings about with this community, because when I started, I feel like there wasn't very much drama within the community, and now I think it happens a lot, more so on book Twitter than BookTube itself. But it's definitely an aspect of the community that I'm not a big fan of, because I'm all about the books, and I want to talk about the books. And even I sometimes, lightning again. Should I wait for the thunder? Even I sometimes slip into it and want to engage in drama. Of course you do, because when you're invested in your community, you want to have a say. But ultimately, tread carefully. Tread carefully. 6, what are your thoughts on working with publishers and sponsorships? I don't really have thoughts about it because I'm not interested in doing it myself. And I don't hold it against anybody that decides to do that. I think that it's a personal choice for your channel, what you want to do. I will say that when things are sponsored, I tend to look at the opinions that are being presented a bit more critically. I do trust that booktubers in general, when they acknowledge that something's sponsored but say they're still sharing their honest opinions, I do think that they're still sharing their honest opinions. I like to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I can't help my own skepticism that comes into play. So I guess I don't really have thoughts about it, but when it happens, I tend to kind of get a little skeptical. Have to check myself on that, I guess. But yeah, I mean, you do you. It's your channel, guys. Number 7, do you think BookTube is dying? No, I don't think it's dying. I think it's growing. I think that YouTube has kind of just, YouTube, like corporate, has discovered BookTube and is now kind of using it in a lot of interesting ways. I don't think they're good or bad. I do think that they tend to only highlight the same people all the time, which is fine because those booktubers put in a lot of work and effort to get this community going. I think that BookTube is more changing than dying. I think that we're growing, and as we're growing, we're falling into a lot of the same things that like the makeup community did, which is like there's all these dramas and cliques and things, and like my fear is that it's going to become like the makeup community where you have like feuds happen and things get kind of very catty and less supportive. And that's really what my ultimate fear is. Like, I don't want BookTube to grow in a way where it stops being supportive and stops being accepting of people and their opinions, because we're based in opinions about books and we're not always going to agree. Like, there are many times that booktubers that I really like and follow have very different ideas about the books that they read versus what I read. Like, I like books that my friends don't like, and that's okay. That's fine. Like, we're not going to agree all the time, and I think that it's fine to have discussion about that, but I just don't want it to become where BookTube is more about the personalities of the people that are putting the content out than about the books. Like, I want to talk about books with people. I don't necessarily want to talk about who said what to whom or anything like that. There are times where this squad culture, clique culture, whatever you want to call it, can become kind of exclusive and can be kind of like, are we about the books or are we just about these personalities that we like? I don't know the answer. And I don't think that I think that BookTube is big enough and diverse enough that there will always be channels that are more committed to just talking about books, and there will always be channels where they're like, I'm doing these cool things with my BookTube friends, come see me on Instagram, which, like, I do that, I watch you, it's fun. That's happening a lot right now with, you know, BookCon and BEA or whatever it's called happening, and so, yeah, this kind of went off on a tangent. Sorry, guys, but long story short, I don't think that BookTube is dying, and I don't think that it's gonna disappear. I think it's changing and growing, and now that it's been legitimized by YouTube corporate, I'm interested to see what happens. I'm kind of concerned, but I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay, because at its root, I think most of us are pretty supportive people, and we want to be supportive, and we're not interested in tearing others down. 8, tag your friends. I don't know who all has done this and who hasn't. So if you have a channel and you're watching this and you want to make a video of this tag your it, make your video, leave a link down below so I can go watch it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave any comments or thoughts or anything you have down below. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys. Well, hey there, reader friends. This popped up. I don't want, go away. Go away, friend. Remind me tomorrow. Thank you.